with confidence because of something that somebody spoke over them decades ago or years ago. And so I just want to break y'all, I just want to break that off of y'all's life because it's not true. And these lies that people tell you, you've been carrying it around either from abuse, sexual abuse, or something that somebody spoke over you, maybe a parent or a loved one. They said you ain't never gonna be nothing, you ain't never gonna amount to nothing. And so unconsciously you have been living out that prophecy, or you've created a self-fulfilling prophecy for yourself where you're like, well, they said I wasn't gonna never be nothing, so I'm not gonna be nothing. So then your actions, this is my cap, and you operate like that. Hey, what? No.
You said I'll let you introduce yourself.
But I was gonna start.
Alright.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Just Gotta Make It podcast. My name is Dela.
My name is Meyers.
And I am really excited about today's video. I want to kick it off with a quote from the Think and Grow Rich, a Black Choice book. For each of us is somebody, but what we truly are is our perception of reality. Though you are somebody, how you feel about yourself will depend on the all-important variable that is known as your self-image. How few young men realize, wrote the book historian Charles Wesley, that their success in life depends more upon what they are than upon what they know. It is self-esteem that has brought the race this far. This book is just good, y'all, so we're probably gonna be doing quotes from here for a while. But I'm literally reading that chapter. We've been talking about confidence. On our coaching call last night, they were talking about confidence, authentic self-worth. And so I'm like, okay, clearly this is what we need to talk about this week. And also, I feel like in the social media world, we are bombarded, is that how you say that, with a bunch of images of confidence that is not real, or it's not genuine, it's not authentic. And so I just think self-image and confidence and things like that is so important. So I wanted to talk about it, and I wanted us to go through what does true confidence look like, kind of talk through our journey in self-confidence, but then I also want to at the end kind of give you guys a few tips and tricks just based off what we've experienced in growing in our confidence and self-image that could help you if this is something that you struggle with. So, Meyer,
Dela,
do you feel like you've always been confident, or do you feel like you've always had strong self-confidence?
No.
Okay. Why do you say that? Or why do you feel like that is?
I mean, because I feel like growing up, my confidence was purely and only rooted in being an athlete. So, because looking back on it, I think that's where most of my affirmation came from. So, that's where I was like, okay, I'm supposedly good at this. So, I felt confident. Like, I don't think I ever lacked confidence as an athlete. But in other realms, I was either inconsistent or didn't get affirmation in it. So I wasn't confident in it. I was looking for like outside.
That's interesting.
Belief.
So where the affirmation is given is where a lot of times the confidence is.
Yeah.
So that's something interesting to think about, like while we're raising the kids.
Yeah.
So what do you feel like? That's really interesting, especially since I find that interesting because you graduated valedictorian of your class.
Yeah.
But you would say you didn't have confidence in school.
Yeah. I mean, I know I wasn't like a terrible student, but I wouldn't say. I mean, just like I didn't think I was dumb.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
but you knew you weren't studious, and also you didn't enjoy school.
Not at all.
Okay.
But I didn't hang my hat on that. Like.
Yeah.
Like. I hung my hat on, okay, I'm a good athlete.
Okay, so where did you feel like you found a shift in like your confidence, like growing your confidence?
Probably the two things when I found Christ.
Okay.
So finding my identity in Christ, that gave me like a new perspective on myself. It sounds like a third person. But yeah, it gave me a new perspective on myself. It's like, okay, you're not just an athlete. You're more than that. You can lead. You can speak.
Yeah.
You can encourage. You can, you know what I mean? It's more sides. It's more facets to me. And also getting married in the sense of, but seriously, like getting married, like you should have somebody in your life, not specifically your spouse, but spouse would be great. But somebody in your life that will see you from a different perspective, so they can be like, hey, you should work on this. Like, hey, you're good at this. So that helped me realize, okay, you're not just an athlete. You're not just good at this. You're not just good at this. But you're a great dad. You're a good husband. You know what I mean? That gave me like more confidence. What?
Let's rewind, because I just thought about something when you were talking about that. What is a negative way that you tried to find confidence outside of before you knew Christ, or before, or even, you know, after, in your early stages? What do you feel like is a way? Because I feel like people try to pull confidence from the wrong places. Like, what do you feel like?
Yeah, people, but people that aren't, I know, that has the best interest in mind.
Okay, well,
like, I know you ain't gonna gas me up.
Yeah,
you know
no,
what I mean?
but what else? Because I feel like you can help somebody. I know the answer, but I'm just wondering if you would think about the answer. Like, when I'm thinking like, I'm serious about Christ, us getting together, where did you find your confidence? Like, what is a negative way that you feel like you built up your confidence?
I got something in mind. What you gonna say?
No, I'll let you. I don't want to try not to put you out there with the people.
Oh, you probably gonna, I already know what you're gonna say.
What is it?
With the opposite sex?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's a big one for
Yeah,
men.
for sure,
I feel like
for
a lot
sure.
of men struggle with that. Like, if you don't have true confidence, then you can try to find that in women, or just your ability to run through women, especially when you're an athlete. Like, so I think that's part of the negative part of finding your confidence and being an athlete is that's the next thing.
Yeah, that's true.
It just it's a 2-for-1 deal.
2-for-1 deal.
Women in
women in sports or women in ball.
I think it can be, and that's the importance of that.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't want to put you out there, but I'm just, because you were talking about marriage, and you're talking about, because I think that is a beautiful thing when you do get married and you find someone who loves you for you and who isn't trying to benefit off of it. You know what I'm saying? Then they can build you up.
Yes.
Versus if you struggle with confidence and you trying to attach and somebody else trying to attach themselves. You get what I'm saying? So, like, if I struggle with confidence and I'ma just use men as my, like, confidence booster, then the men that I'm using, obviously they ain't got a lot of self-confidence either, because they allowing it. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I just thought about that.
Yeah. That's deep. Okay, so Dela, do you feel like you always had
Why are you doing this interview voice?
No, that's how you presented it.
Meyers always making fun of me because I'm always asking him these questions and making him, What was the question? I'm sorry.
Have you always been confident?
I think I have.
No, low key, I can see that.
I think I was born confident and not arrogant. I don't think I've ever struggled really with arrogance, and that's why I think my confidence is a gift from God because of that.
I mean, just looking at our kids, like one of our kids, man, she came out the womb just
confident.
And she felt like she could do everything. I can swim. No, you can't.
Yes,
no, you can't swim.
We took her to the beach, and she would run. I'm like, girl, what?
Like, girl, you tripping?
She thinks. and her confidence is so, like, electric. I don't know what to say, but, like, people are just, like, drawn to her, even in her class. And you hot? In her class and stuff. So I think it's true. I think you can be, and you're just born with our gifts. It doesn't mean that everybody can be confident, but I do think some people are given that, and I think it does come with the gift of leadership, because I also feel like I was gifted the gift of leadership, and it's like the Lord knows you need that confidence with it. And I think the reason why, I'm not saying I haven't struggled with pride, but just like arrogance and pride hasn't really, it's almost disgusting to me, but I think I can thank my parents for that, because they did not tolerate it. They were like, yes, you're phenomenal, yes, you're amazing, but also you're a human, and the rest of these people are humans, and because the Lord tells us how to treat humans. And so that was kind of the standard in our house, and I'm grateful for that. So I do think I've always been confident. I think for me, as a woman and as a black woman, I've struggled with how confident to show up. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, am I being too confident? That's more of my struggle. Like, how do I say? People say, like, don't dim your shine. And I have never really struggled with that. It's almost like the older you get and the more you understand politics, the more you realize, like, you know, just the rawness. I look at our daughter that's born confident, the rawness of her confidence right now. And I just think about the older you get, because now I look back on some of the things I did in high school and I'm like, I cannot believe I did that. And they were powerful and they were amazing, but it was almost like the innocence of not realizing that was me doing the most.
It's kind of like childlike faith.
It's childlike faith, yeah. And I think that's the importance too, when God gives you visions, especially when you're young, acting on them, because there's so much you don't understand about the world, that there's a pureness that those things can flow through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think for me, yeah, like I was born with confidence. I think, and I'm grateful for that. And I think for me, I'm grateful for the fact that I don't only want to operate in confidence, but I want everybody else around me to be confident.
Yeah.
Because I naturally see people in their most confident state.
Sure.
And that's all I see, and that's all I really focus on. But yeah, like new arenas for me. Oh, we went dark. New arenas for me are I have an adjustment period in which I can get confident. You know what I mean? So like when some people meet me, they're like, dang, I used to think you were so shy. It's just that warm up period for me, like sometimes it does take, like I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I'm observing my environment. I don't know.
I do that too though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I probably do more so than you.
You do. And if I have one more, that's what I realized too. If I have one more person with me in a new environment that's from my normal life, it does that period is short for me, or I don't really need it. I don't know what that's about, but
I need time.
You do.
It could be a person I know, but that I need time.
Yeah, because no, I just think about too, and it's how much you trust the people, and how much you feel safe will determine. But you've been better about, like, whether that person is sketchy or not, you can still be your truest, authentic, confident self.
Yeah, now.
Yeah. But before, you would just be mute, and I would be like, what just happened? Like, who is this person that I showed up with? And which there's nothing wrong with being an introvert. You're an introvert. That's fine. But I would notice drastic differences. And now looking back, there's a consistency in which the people that you're mute with sometimes they just weren't very trustworthy people. And so that was almost like your default meter going off. Like, you know, your safety meter going off. Okay, so now I want to talk about false self-confidence versus like authentic confidence, because I don't know, I see it, like I said, I see a lot of fake self-confidence going on, and it really breaks my heart. Like, I don't want to see people low self-esteem, but I also don't want to see people faking it. And so I think when I see false self-confidence, it's a lot of times like the clothes you wear, or the car you drive, and like people who I know who are like actually confident, you don't even really know what they drive a lot of times. You don't know. You get what I'm saying? Like, or even if you're in a space and someone is almost overcompensating for their lack of confidence. They're the loudest person in the room.
They have to try to own the room
at all times.
And they have to try to emulate somebody that they're trying to be or become. Yeah.
And you could just feel the what do you call it? Like the difference, the disconnect. You can feel the disconnect between who you are acting and who you are. And sometimes you can feel that because the person that they're acting like, you know good and well they're not living that life behind doors. You know what I mean? It's not consistent. But yeah, I see that. Or even just in women, like I see this, I don't know, like every woman wears lashes, so I'm gonna wear lashes. Every woman does this, so I'm gonna do this. It almost feel like I would tell my like, I'm tired, which I wear tights, I wear biker shorts, I do that. But there's something about like seeing a woman, the sun is really doing what it's doing. Seeing a woman look like a TikTok checkbox. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how else to describe it. But it's, you get what why are you laughing?
I get what you're saying.
Or just, you know, or like Pinterest said I should do this, so I'm gonna do this.
So I'm gonna do this,
It's like, that's not confidence. That's false confidence. That's a lack of confidence, so you feel like you have to be somebody else. And it's just, it really sucks. And it makes everybody around you feel uncomfortable. Because I think self-confidence really is what's happening within. And so like self-confidence is you have confidence in yourself to continue to show up for yourself. That's what so like even looking at, okay, for example, one way that I feel like, and me and Maya talked about this yesterday when we were walking, that I struggle with confidence is showing up with confidence online versus in person. So the person that people experience people who experience me in person experience maybe like a higher energy from me. You know, I just feel like I can be all out. But online, I think because I've seen so many people do it fake, that I'm almost nervous to show up fully how you would experience me if you were at my house. Also because like, or even just thinking about authenticity in our spaces, I'm thinking through like, y'all see my house. So when I'm filming, I cannot, like the aesthetic thing, sometimes I like watching videos that are beautifully aesthetic, but I can't offer that. And so that would almost create like a disconnect on how I feel like I can show up online.
Or a lie.
A what?
It'd be a lie.
If I tried to do that? Yeah, it would be a lie. And so for me, I'm like, okay, how can I merge the two together? And I feel like that's where a lot of people are struggling. Like, how can I merge like who I truly am in myself, and you know what I mean, with this space that I'm in.
But I mean, I think people's goals aren't moving through authenticity. It may be like, okay, this person make a lot of money off YouTube, so let me try to look like them or do what they do to get the same result, versus doing it how God intended them to be and them to do it to get the same result.
Because they start with the result. They don't start with the actions that it takes to get there. So they're like, this person has a big car, a nice house, a big house, a nice car, and all these things. So let me put that out there first, versus, because the truth is, if somebody is on YouTube or whatever and they balling out or whatever, the truth is, which a lot of people don't want to get in their credit, they probably worked really hard and started wherever they had to start to get there. And they showed up day in, day out. So instead of emulating the show up day in, day out, we trying to emulate the like,
the glamour.
Like sit down.
The 4K video, like, bro, you ain't got the bread to have that type of camera.
Oh, it is 4K now.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, iPhones have 4K.
I'm like, I'm clearly not into that.
But but I get the production is what you're talking about. Like, I'm going to force the production so that, you know, it looks a certain way, versus I'm just going to start where I am. And so for me, that's one thing. Even yesterday we were walking, that was a breakthrough moment for me. I'm like, I'm going to just show up how I can show up. If y'all going to get B-roll, it's going to be me actually sweeping up actual crumbs, because we got crumbs on our floor because we got 4 kids. Like, I was watching this lady's video and I love her so much. As she was sweeping her floor, there was nothing on the floor. I was like, wow, goals. But I'm not there yet.
You're going to see the crumbs.
Yeah, they're going to be real crumbs. Our table's jacked up. It's going to be jacked up until our kids get older. So just the confidence in knowing I can show up how I want to show up. But some of that confidence comes from, I have a confidence in knowing that I'm going to get where it is that God showed me I'm going to get. So I don't see the need in pretending, because I know I'm going to get to the actual reality.
Yes.
So I feel like we're already kind of moving into this, but how does someone show up with confidence, and how does someone fix their self-image? Because another quote. Okay. So here's another quote. Second, the self-image can be changed. It's been proved that one is never too young, too old, or the wrong sex or race to change one's self-image and thereby begin to experience a whole new life.
Oh.
Okay, so I think that quote just perfectly, I don't know, summarizes the fact that you don't have to stay stuck where you are. Like, you can change. And I think this is where you get all of the reinvent yourself videos on YouTube or just on Instagram, talking about how I'm going to reinvent myself and things that I'm going to do to up my self-worth. I think my only issue with those, and we're gonna give you the tips to build your self-confidence, but I think some people are seeking popularity more than they are confidence. And popularity, the difference, I believe, is that popularity is you being concerned what other people think about you, versus confidence is what you think about yourself and you being focused on what the creator thinks about you. And so I think some of those videos, like how I'm reinventing myself, you're still outward focused. You're still worried about how everybody's going to see you versus how you gonna see you and what you gonna do to up your game, for you. And it's funny, because if you focus on confidence, that brings popularity. But if you focus on trying to be popular and trying to get all these likes and stuff on Instagram, I think that actually lowers your self-esteem and your self-confidence.
And it's not sustainable.
It's showing.
Because that means you have to be trendy. Or,
Yeah, you do.
And that can switch up. People switch up. So,
yeah.
that means you have to be flaky, too.
Yeah. Okay, I think we have like 5 tips. Y'all know I'm bad with my numbers. Or 6. Okay. I think number 1 way to up your confidence is remember that your input equals your output. And so, like, I guess I'm not an introvert, but as an introvert, I don't know, like, when you think through confidence in conversations with people, I mean, would you agree that if you're well read, if you're listening to things of value, does that help ease the conversation?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So input equals output, listening to things of substance, having valuable things to add to conversations. I think that instantly, like, improves your confidence.
And speaking for all introverts.
Oh wow, all introverts.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
If you don't want to talk, don't talk.
Oh, yes,
No,
that's
like,
so
for
good.
real. Like at first, when I first started to become more confident, I felt like, okay, I feel like I'm supposed to speak in this moment.
Ready, set, go.
No, for real. Like, so I'm like, and if you short-winded, be short-winded.
Yeah.
Because if you're only want to say a 5-word sentence and stop at that, but if you keep saying stuff or you keep talking beyond that, then you losing power.
Yeah,
you're losing
good.
authority. So it's like, if you only gonna keep it at 3 words, keep it at 3 words.
Yeah, because over talking is really awkward too.
Yeah.
Like when you know someone's just over talking to overcompensate.
Yeah, get to the point or just stop talking.
Well, and for someone like an extrovert like me, I really value when introverts do decide to speak. Because I'm like, okay, they've had more time to think versus us that are always talking, and I just value the input that introverts have. Number 2, see yourself as you will one day become. Like, how do you visualize yourself? That's so powerful. And I know that we live in a day of age where everybody's talking about visualization, but let me tell y'all this story real quick. I was reading, actually, in this book, this boy, he had a humpback. He was born with a hunchback, like a really big hunchback. And he asked his father, I think his father was a prince or something. His father was like, what is it that you want for your birthday? And he was like, I want an image of myself. And his dad was like, no, like, that's terrible, like, I already feel bad that you have this hunchback. Why do you want that? And he was like, no, I want you to build a statue of me, like, and he was like, no. And so finally he did it. He built a statue, and he was like, but I don't want it like, well, before his dad built it, he was like, I don't want it of me hunched over. I want it of me standing up straight. So he built his dad built a statue of him standing up straight. And for like 8 years, the guy would go out there and look at the statue and kind of like try to mimic the statue, even though he had a hunchback. And then I think on the 8th year, he was able to finally stand up straight to it. And I just thought that was so powerful, because whatever we put in front of us of how we see ourselves, if we will keep going and keep standing up to that and keep, you know what I'm saying, like measuring ourselves up to that, not what other people say, not what other people think, but the vision that God has given us for who we are, then we will one day look and we will literally look like that person that God has given us. And I think that's so powerful. So how do you visualize yourself? Like, again, even pulling in the poverty mindset, if you just see yourself as a broke, poor person from whatever neighborhood that is not worthy of the space that you're in, then that is what you will give off. Like, that is the self-confidence that you will have versus seeing yourself, of what the images that God has given you. This, even for me, like on my weight loss journey, I have such a hard time because I can't identify with the person I see there, because I see myself as the fit person that I was. So although there's a disconnect, I know that one day they're gonna merge, and it does help me even in this season have confidence in where I am. So I think that's huge. How do you visualize yourself?
Number 3 is knowing and finding your gifts. So just think about myself. So yes, me finding my confidence in being an athlete, that's fine and that's good. But I have to find myself and understand that that's not my only gift. So knowing that, okay, you're not just a one-sided coin. That you got more facets to yourself. In your gifts, you can like lean on your gifts in times of like lack of confidence. So if you're walking in the room, like me personally, like I'm more built, right? So if I know like I've been taking care of my body and I know I've been working out consistently, then I know for sure that I'll walk into a room more confident. Simply because that's a gift that I was like giving, that I'm like more naturally in shape.
And your gift is that you show, like, again, self-confidence is how much do I show up for myself.
Yeah.
So that gift of being fit and being stronger, it opens up the gift of you also know that you're disciplined, and so you can hang your hat on. So I always say, like, if you want to build your confidence, know your gift so you can know what you can hang your hat on at any moment. You know what I mean? And if you feel like your self-confidence is attacked by yourself or somebody around you, you just know, like, these are my gifts, this is what I can hang my hat on. It's just like, it's time and time again we hear these stories of these big ugly men with these beautiful girls, you know what I'm saying? But then you hear him open his mouth, or you find out he's a beast of a rapper, or it's like, oh, okay, like, he's super confident in what he brings to the table, and I respect that. Or a nerdy little guy with a fine woman. It's like, okay, because he's really good at accumulating wealth, and that makes him confident. I said this before, but I think the next one in building your confidence is making sure that your private life is consistent with your public life. Because, and it's not about perfection, we all make mistakes, but I think, like, when you see someone who is maybe really, really confident in one realm, or like when they're on stage they're super confident, but then you experience them on a personal level and there's a disconnect, that's because there's a disconnect in what they're saying maybe and how they're living. Does that make sense? And so just making like, because I also have confidence in the fact that there's not going to be no man in these streets that slips into the comments and is like, oh, Dela was with me last night. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just the confidence of knowing, like, I am who I say I am. Like, that gives me more confidence. Fix what you don't like. Yeah,
for sure.
I think people don't put a lot of, like, they think, like, oh, I'm fat and I'm ugly, and, like, there's not, okay.
I just thought one, okay, like I had gaps growing up all my life. So then you was like, do you want to get your teeth worked on?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, but, I ain't, like, I wasn't trying to, like, put any kind of financial burden on us, but you was like, no, like, you want this, and I feel like it'll help you.
Yeah.
So let's get it done. And, me getting my teeth worked on did help in my confidence.
Yeah.
Like,
and it was not like but then I think you get in trouble because then people are like, well, I'll just go get breasts and I'll just get a nose job.
Yeah,
and I'll just, and it could be never ending. But if it's something simple, like we've always said, we will invest in teeth for our children because in our culture, American culture, it's important. Like, it just is. It's a part of the culture. I think and everybody has their different opinions, but I think, where I would draw the line is, like, I'm not just about, if I'm in surgery more than I'm in the gym, that's a problem. Like, if I'm, and not that I haven't had surgeries and I don't even know that there's anything wrong, but that's just not my style. But I just think, like, if I'm fixing things with quick fixes more than I'm showing up for myself, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Because then if you're like, okay, I'm gonna get my teeth fixed, and now I'm gonna go get muscle implants, or it's like, okay, what what are you? Because, this is good. People think a lot of times the confidence that they are wanting is in the outcome, but really the confidence that they're wanting is in the process.
Yeah.
Because
that's true.
I think it's amazing how many women go get tummy tucks and still don't feel confident. Yeah. Versus the woman that showed up day in and day out. My camera cut off. I don't know when it cut off, but I was saying that people think they want the outcome, but really what they want is the confidence from the process, like the day in, day out, showing up for yourself. And so I was saying it's amazing how many women get a tummy tuck and they don't realize that they really want the confidence of the day in, day out, showing up for themselves, knowing, because a lot of my confidence comes from, I'm still overweight. I'm still like 50 pounds away from my goal weight. But I know that I don't eat desserts. I know that I drink my water, and I know that I work out daily. So come for me. Like, no, like, I'm going to be one of the healthiest thick girls you've ever seen. And so,
like trucking gave me, like, extreme confidence in myself that, like, Myers, if you say you're going to do it, you can do it.
Yes.
Like,
follow through.
Period. Like,
yes.
Like,
follow through is the sexiest thing.
Man, had to get my own CDL.
Yeah.
Like, never driven a truck in my life.
Yep.
Never started a business like that. Never started a bank account. So all these things that I had to check off the list. Yeah. And I actually got it done.
Oh, excuse
me,
sorry.
I'm like, oh no, ain't nothing that I can, like,
that you can't
that
do.
I can't achieve. Like,
and that gives you a different confidence on the job too. Like when you don't have a dependency on something, you move with a whole different confidence. You know what I mean? Like neither of us are ever afraid of getting fired from a job or leaving a job or transitioning because we have confidence in the fact that God is going to give us a vision that will allow us to produce what we need for our family. 2 more. Surround yourself with other authentic people. That's harder said than done. That's easier said than done. There we go. Easier said than done. But if you surround yourself with other confident people, one, they're not trying to bring you down.
Yeah.
And two, like it just does something for you. Like seeing people be their truest self, like it just makes you feel like you can be your truest self.
How can you tell if they're authentic? Is like if they switch up
with different people.
If they switch up with different people or different spaces.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they're pretty consistent.
Yeah.
Then it kind of like it's an indicator of like, okay, this person's pretty authentic.
Well, and one thing that we like to do is when we're picking our friendships and stuff is that like we're never impressed with how people treat us. We're always looking at how they treat like the underdog or the person that everybody knows is a little weird or a little off. You know what I'm saying? Maybe someone who is special needs or just more unpopular. Or just indifferent. Yeah, they're just different. And we look at like if the person that is like trying to be buddy with us treats that person like crap, then we're not really interested. I think the last one, the biggest one, is growing your relationship with God. Like you said, I thought that was amazing how when you found Christ, you found ultimate confidence.
Yeah.
And I think that just comes from knowing when you know God has your back. One, you have sharp discernment. You know the Lord will tell you who to avoid. He will tell you what situations to avoid. Like that's the thing is like people will think, man, y'all got, like we said, y'all got guts, y'all got nerves, you know, to do all these things. It's like we just have so much confidence in the fact that one, God is who he says he is. He made us who he said he, you know what I mean? Like in his image, like he said he will. We are made in the image of God. And I think we have in the confidence in the fact that God will, like we've never seen the righteous forsaken. I believe that. Yeah. And so does that mean we're not going to have hard times? No. But it does mean that I serve a big, good God that can bring me out of anything. And I have confidence in that. And so there's really nothing people can do to break me down. And I want that for my kids. Like installing confidence in kids, that's a whole nother video.
Yeah, then like, I don't know if this is, maybe it's God. But like finding Christ like gave me peace and peace of mind. And like, if you got turmoil in your head, like it's hard to be confident because you're thinking about all the stuff going around you versus like if you have inner peace, then you can like finally like slow things down in your head. Yeah. It's like really like, okay, dang, I'm struggling at this. Yeah. Or like, dang, that person's not good for me. Yeah. So then you can like really start to digest and chew on
what needs to actually be digested and chewed on. Yeah, peace is huge, and peace that only comes from God. Yeah. And like you say, you can lay down things that, and a lot of people struggle with confidence because of something that somebody spoke over them decades ago or years ago. And so I just want to break y'all, I just want to break that off of y'all's life because it's not true. And these lies that people tell you, you've been carrying it around either from abuse, sexual abuse, or something that somebody spoke over you, maybe a parent or a loved one. They said you ain't never going to be nothing, you ain't never going to amount to nothing. And so unconsciously you have been living out that prophecy, or you've created a self-fulfilling prophecy for yourself where you're like, well, they said I wasn't gonna never be nothing, so I'm not gonna be nothing. So then your actions, this is my cap. And you operate like that. You operate like that. Like you go into a job interview already defeated, which is why you're not making no money, which is why you're not ever gonna be nothing, because you believe that. Versus if you walk in there knowing that, listen, I may not be the best for the job, but my Father is the King of all kings and he has the ultimate plan for my life. And so if he has the ultimate plan for my life, I can walk in here already knowing this is mine. If this is a part of his plan for me.
And this ain't mine, cool. He gonna give me
something better. This wasn't what I wanted. If they close it, and that's the difference between confidence. Somebody with confidence feels like rejection is like, well, that ain't what I wanted anyway. Like not in a fake way, but that obviously was not what God wanted for me.
This doesn't truly align with who I am.
Yes, so moving on.
Or what I need in this season.
Yes, that's protection. Yeah. Like someone with confidence in God, they see rejection as protection.
Yes. And that's clarity.
Yeah, it is clarity. Closed doors are clarity. We always say that. Closed doors are clarity. And we're thankful for those just as much as we are open doors.
Yeah, for sure.
We love y'all, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.